What's going on, everyone? So today we're gonna start repairing the F-150's rust problem because it's getting a little out of hand here. So I did buy a whole patch panel, but we're only gonna cut out a section of it and patch this in. It's already marked my line, as you can see right here. So we're gonna cut this panel, take this piece, set it over this, and then mark where we need to cut, and then cut out my bedside. Now you'll notice I got the back bumper off and I have the front bumper off because I don't know when these videos are gonna when I'm gonna upload each video, but I'm installing a plow on the F-150, so the front bumper's off for that, and the back bumper's off because I got painted rear bumpers, because I figure if I'm going to be painting the bedside, I'm going to repaint my front bumper because it's 3 years old now and it's got a bunch of rock chips and rust starting. So I'm going to repaint the front bumper, finally do the painted rear bumper that I've been talking about doing, and repainting or painting the bedside because I'm going to have to blend that. So figured if I'm painting something, might as well paint it all while I have it all set up. So let's go ahead and cut this and then cut the bedside out. So as you guys can see, I'm using magnets to keep everything flush as I just put in a couple stitch welds here. The magnets I end up getting on Amazon for like 15 bucks. I know Eastwood sells specific magnets for this. They're like $45. There is an Eastwood store by me. It's like half an hour away. I don't really drive by it on the way home from work. And these I got within like a day, and they also come with hooks that you can easily pop them off with. But they are pretty strong magnets. They keep everything flush. I also put panel bond right here on this seam to help hold that as well. But once I finish welding all this up, it's going to be a matter of grinding it flat and then Bondo. I'm trying not to do a lot of Bondo. That's why I'm like, look how flush this is. Like, do you see that? That's what I'm trying to make as flat as possible, so there's minimal Bondo that goes on this. And then, yeah, we just gotta feather it in. But as far as the back bumper goes, those came in. I'm just doing bed liner in the inside, the back sides of the front and rear bumper, because honestly, there's no point to using actual paint back there besides bed liner paint, because it's going to hold up to all the road grime and everything better. And I'm going to spray the back side of this with bed liner. But as you can see, I have all the self-etching primer and everything on here. So, all right, I'm going to continue all this. I just wanted to show you guys this little trick. I'll put a link to these guys in my description down below. So let's continue. All right, so I got everything welded up here. Welds aren't too pretty, but they are there. Now I just got to grind everything flat down. And I'm just going to use an 80 grit flap disc on an angle grinder, take it all down as smooth as I possibly can. But the trick with this, because it's thin sheet metal, you want to start here, go over here, go here, go over here, let it cool down, then come back. So you want to move around with it so you don't overheat the panels, and it's going to try and stay as smooth as possible or flat as possible and match the existing panel. But now I'm going to grind all that down and then just hit it with primer for tonight so it doesn't rust overnight or get moisture or whatever. So yeah. Well, all the welding is done in the grinding. It's not perfect, but it's not rusty anymore. And it is a little warped here or there, but you know what? That's what the Bondo's for anyways. There's no way we're gonna get it perfect. So now we just gotta do body filler, sand it, make it perfect, and then blend it in. So, all right, so I got the Bondo on. It's wax and grease removed and everything. And fortunately, there's as much Bondo as this, but to me, I'm fairly happy with it because it's going to be as smooth as possible. And yeah, for a driveway job, this isn't turning too bad. But you can see where the panels warped while I was welding because I got a little rambunctious with the welder and did a little bit longer than a bead than I should have. So it is what it is. I'm going to wax and grease it again since I've been touching it, and then hit it with primer, let that flash, do a couple coats of primer, maybe 2-3, and then yeah, then we'll move on to paint. So as you can see, I got everything primed up. I got the existing paint sanded here. I took it back further. There's an actual tape line up here, and then down here, this is what I was talking about with the soft line. You take the paper and like roll it back, and then this way when you go to spray, it's not going to have a hard line when you spray it. It'll kind of feather in. So we're going to feather the paint, the blue paint, so the existing paint, and then feather in the clear coat, so then when we go to buff it, we can buff up to these parts here, not where the new paint's going, and this way it'll buff in and hopefully blend all in together and somewhat seem like I never did anything here. But again, this is a driveway repair, not even in a shop, so we'll see how it turns out. Last time when I painted my front bumper and grill, I set up like a makeshift paint booth, but again, I'm just doing everything outside now because it's like every day I keep working on it a little bit. So we're gonna go mix up some paint and get that shot in, because I'm running low on clear coat, so I might have to go pick up some clear coat from somewhere. All right, so quick disclaimer, I think I already mentioned it. When I got the paint, the guy asked me if I wanted it ready to go. Yeah, I did not want it ready to go because they had mixed the clear coat in with the paint. I thought they were just going to put the reducer in already with the hardener. So I'm not liking how the paint's looking on these guys or the bedside because the clear coat's in it. I'd have rather painted just the paint and then did the clear coat. In my opinion, it would have turned out a lot better, but that's it. So next is going to be buffing this line, and this is what I mean by that soft line right here. So when you peel back, it's not a hard line, it's soft. So then you buff it in and it should blend. But because of the whole clear coat being in with the base paint, it's not gonna look the same, and that's why I'm not exactly happy with it, because I think it actually pronounces the metallic in the paint a lot better when you do the base coat and then the clear coat. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna probably repaint this next year. Oh well, live and you learn. But for the first time doing that, I'm happier with it how it is, even if it's gonna not look right, because it's no longer looking like that. But I'm gonna take off the rest of the masking paper and then end up waiting till tomorrow to buff this out. So you can see, this is what I mean by it's a soft line. It's not a hard line, so then it can be buffed in. But it's not perfect. I am not a professional. This is the first time I've ever done this. But I think it came out pretty okay for my first time. I did have a run in the paint. I'm very upset about that. So I tried to sand it out, but it did not. Like I said, I'm going to repaint it in a year. So, but for what it is, it's about a 20 footer, maybe a 10 footer. Yeah, from this distance it's not too bad. So we'll see what happens when I buff it, and I will show you guys that tomorrow. Well, it's finished. I'm not 100% happy with how it turned out, but again, disclaimer, first time I've ever actually done this. I painted my front bumper and the grill like 3 years ago. I do have a video on that, and I'm happy with how that turned out, because that's almost like an exact match with the grill. The front bumper I've repainted, and that, when he said ready to go, I didn't think he meant the clear was going to be in the paint as well. Thought he just meant the the reducer and the hardener would already be mixed into the base. Because if I did base then clear coat, this would have turned out a whole lot different. I think it's actually turning out fairly well on camera. From back here, it doesn't look too half bad. Looks better than the rust that was on there. Once you get up close and personal, I'm gonna admit to you guys, you can see it did not blend the way I wanted it to, because instead of just blending through the clear coat, I'm blending through the base and the clear. Over here it blended fairly decently. Up here, same thing. Down here, you can still see where I had like the primer line and stuff. So, and of course I had runs in the paint, and then that screwed up. So now that looks like garbage. But hey, I'm being honest with you guys. I'm showing you where I messed up, so when you go to do it on your own, you can improve on it. I'm not afraid to show you that I messed up, but it's my truck, my thing. Like, I already decided I'm going to pull the back bumper, front bumper off, and repaint them next year along with this. And this, I might just do the whole bedside anyways, because there's more rust repair to do on this truck. Like the rocker panel on the passenger side. If you guys watch my videos, that's a huge spider web right there. When I was doing the exhaust, I pointed out that right there. So that's gonna be a fun repair. I decided to do it, but that I could always, I don't have to paint match it. I could just do bed liner paint down there, but still I would probably want to make it look as good as possible. And who knows, in another year this side might rust out or not. I don't know. This side might continue rusting because I only did the piece right here, not the whole thing. But if I did the whole thing, then probably would have just painted the whole bedside. But anyways, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. The main reason why I'm kind of rushing this, there's a wedding this weekend that I'm officiating, and the truck kind of needs to be present for it because I have to take my trailer, and I'm not about to haul a trailer with the Ranger. So yeah, of course I decided a week and a half before the wedding to cut up my truck and repaint it. There's plenty more I need to do with it. So yeah, I will catch you guys later.